You open your phone for a second, just to check something quickly, but within minutes, you're reading about a disaster somewhere in the world, a political argument, a crime story, bad news, more bad news, and somehow you keep scrolling, even though it makes you feel worse. Why does that happen? Why does your brain seem drawn to negative news? The answer is something psychologists call negativity bias, and it's built deep into the human brain. Thousands of years ago, paying attention to danger was a matter of life and death. If our ancestors ignored bad news, they didn't last very long. A rustle in the bushes might be a predator. A strange sound at night might mean trouble. Missing those signals could be fatal. Therefore, the brain evolved to prioritize negative information over positive information. Good news is nice, but bad news might keep you alive. And because of that, your brain automatically gives it more attention. Psychologists have studied this for decades. In many experiments, people consistently remember negative events more clearly than positive ones. A single insult can stick in your mind for years, but a compliment? That often fades much faster. Your brain is simply prioritizing what it thinks is important for survival. Modern life, however, has changed the environment. The dangers we face today are very different from the ones our brains evolved to detect. But the mental wiring is still the same, and news platforms know this. Stories about danger, conflict, and outrage grab attention faster than calm or positive stories, because your brain instantly flags them as important. So the more negative the headline, the harder it is to ignore. Social media makes this effect even stronger. Algorithms quickly learn what keeps people engaged, and unfortunately, negative content often performs best. Anger spreads faster than calm. Fear spreads faster than reassurance, and outrage spreads faster than almost anything else. So the more people click on negative stories, the more those stories appear, creating a cycle that's hard to escape. But there's another reason bad news pulls us in: uncertainty. When something feels threatening or unresolved, your brain wants answers. It keeps looking for more information, more updates, more explanations, even if that information makes you feel worse, because your brain believes that more information means more control, even when that isn't really true. Over time, constant exposure to negative news can start to shape how we see the world. Psychologists call this the mean world effect. When people consume large amounts of negative media, they often begin to believe the world is more dangerous than it actually is, even if their own life experiences don't match that perception. In other words, the news can slowly change how reality feels. Of course, staying informed is important, but our brains were never designed to process an endless stream of global problems every day. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is simply step away from the noise, because your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. It's scanning for threats, trying to protect you, even when the danger is only on a screen. And once you understand that, those headlines become a little easier to ignore. Now you know.